From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 1st, 2018. The man who murdered 11 people at the Tree of Life Synagogue this past Saturday in Pittsburgh pled not guilty to federal charges at his arraignment today. Robert Bowers was indicted on 44 counts that include murder, hate crimes, and obstructing the practice of religion. U.S. Attorney Scott Brady said today begins the process of seeking justice for the victims of these hateful acts and healing for the victims' families, the Jewish community, and our city. And while many in the Jewish community see Pittsburgh as a sign of growing anti-Semitism that could threaten American Jewry, the Pittsburgh Jewish community is making a powerful statement of its own that's quite to the opposite. Appearing on JBS's In the News, Rabbi Danny Schiff of the Jewish Federation of Pittsburgh describes how the Jews of Pittsburgh are not afraid of anti-Semitism in their community, despite enduring the horrific murders at the Tree of Life congregation.
I'm still running classes, and nobody has yet failed to turn up because they were afraid to enter a Jewish institution.
Well, good for them and good for you.
And minyanim are all going on across town, even though we haven't got it all worked out fully yet. I don't see the slightest hesitation among the Jews of Pittsburgh to return to their institutions.
Beautiful.
You can see Rabbi Schiff's entire interview with JBS President Mark Golub immediately following this JBS News Update. An incendiary device was found this morning at a kindergarten in southern Israel, presumably sent from Gaza. The kindergarten's teacher at the school in the Eshkol Regional Council discovered the balloon, moved the children to safety, and a police sapper was called to the scene and neutralized the explosive. Meanwhile, Ynet reports that the terror groups in Gaza agreed to temporarily stop the sending of such devices over the fence and other violence in order to give ceasefire efforts led by Egyptian officials a chance. However, later today, the Times of Israel reported that leaders of Hamas and Islamic Jihad said the violence would continue. There are also reports that Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas would meet with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in Sharm el-Sheikh this weekend, also to discuss ceasefire efforts as well as reconciliation efforts between Hamas and the PA's Fatah party. Meanwhile, the family of Hadar Golden, one of the IDF soldiers whose remains are being held in Gaza by Hamas, once again called on Israel's security cabinet to reject any ceasefire deal from the terror group that does not include the return of Golden's remains, as well as those of fellow slain soldier Oron Shaul. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in Varna, Bulgaria today and met with Prime Minister Boyko Borisov. Tomorrow, Netanyahu will attend the Craiova Forum, meeting with the leaders of Greece, Romania, and Serbia. Before leaving, Netanyahu said the meetings would focus on strengthening diplomatic ties and pushing for a change in what he called the European Union's hypocritical and hostile stance towards Israel. In what seemed to be a response to those remarks, the EU in Israel tweeted that the EU and Israel enjoy strong, mutually beneficial relations, adding that the EU is Israel's first economic partner and a strong political ally fully committed to its security and well-being. And last night, the Prime Minister met with the governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards. The two discussed cooperation in areas such as cyber, energy, and water. A synagogue in California was defaced this week with hateful graffiti. A member of Beth Jacob congregation in Irvine found the hateful message against Jews spray-painted on the synagogue's front wall yesterday. It was quickly painted over, and police who also have surveillance video showing the incident taking place are investigating. The second Moscow International Conference on Combating Anti-Semitism, Xenophobia, and Racism took place this week in the Russian capital. The international gathering was led by the Russian Jewish Congress and the World Jewish Congress and attended by 600 delegates from over 35 countries to explore ways to combat anti-Semitism and racial, ethnic, and religious intolerance. Well, the Charles Bronfman Prize is asking for nominations for its 2019 award. The $100,000 prize is presented to an individual or team whose innovative humanitarian work informed by Jewish values has significantly improved the world. Past winners include founder of the Gift of Life Bone Marrow Registry, Jay Feinberg, Eric Greitens, who works with post-9/11 veterans, and storyteller Edgar Carrot. The deadline for nominations is January the 15th. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, November the 1st at 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 8, Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz goes one-on-one. At 8:30, remarks from Nicholas Kristof. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Israeli author Yossi Klein Halevi on L'chaim. And at 10, the biographical drama Waldheim Waltz is in the spotlight on Jewish Cinematheque. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Mark Golub speaks with Rabbi Danny Schiff of the Jewish Federation of Pittsburgh, who describes how the Jewish community has responded to the Tree of Life shooting, the overwhelming support from the non-Jewish community, and his lack of fear of anti-Semitism. That is on tonight's In the News at 6:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 1st, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.